Hey, what's up? You ready for all the Switch 2 goodness coming in a few days? So are we. On our play for this week, we have predictions and rumors swirling around the Switch 2 Direct. And we have a recap of the biggest announcements from the Switch 1 Direct that no one knew was coming because the rumor was in February. But hey,
Yeah.
recapping. All this and more on Season 9, Episode 13 of Press X to Start Gamers Digest. Yes. Oh, yeah. The intro. Of course. How could I forget? What's up, everyone? I am your host, DJ, aka Sexy Bad Choices, aka I need like a glowing sign that like play the intro right now. I am joined by
On MF for us.
What does the MNF stand for?
Switch it on twice.
Oh, snap. Yeah, double snap. Or it's a clap. I don't know. It's one of the two. This is Press X Star Gamers Digest, a video podcast that connects the most important gaming news from this past week into an hour-long meal just for you. We're live on YouTube every Sunday because we make it every Sunday. And when we can't, it's because life is hard.
But listening to us is easy.
Yes, it is. Don't forget, you can support us by liking this video, subscribing to the channel, and hitting the notification bell. If you are listening, we greatly appreciate you leaving us a review on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or whatever podcast service you are currently tuned in on. And if you want, you can join our conversation by joining our Discord at pressx2start.com/Discord. All right. I guess announcements before we get into the actual gaming news. We will, in fact, be live streaming the Switch 2 Direct.
It doesn't matter. They go see this after the fact, DJ.
I mean, because it's gonna be like at 9 in the morning because Nintendo time.
At 9 o'clock in the morning.
Right.
Gunman and Shihul.
All right. Now that is out the way, let's jump into the gaming news with number 1. Nintendo Switch 2 will have a 3-phase launch plan for its games. Interesting. This comes to us from Insider Gaming by way of Tom Henderson. Okay, so this is interesting. With Nintendo Switch 2 just 1 week from its official full reveal, this year's annual GDC was buzzing with talk around the future of the console. One such discussion was around the Nintendo Switch 2 launch date. Oh, wait a minute. There we go. There we go. Which, according to the people that I spoke to, this comes from Tom, at the event falls in June. Why does this lock up and I can't scroll down this thing? What? Oh, that's interesting. Okay, well, give me a second. This website is tripping balls. But that's not all. According to various sources, the Nintendo Switch 2 will launch its games in a 3-phase strategy, starting with primarily first-party games on launch. Makes sense. According to source, the second stage will arrive in October/November for third-party studios. Many of them are expecting the dev kits for the Switch 2 to be sent in June. That seems very fast if the developers don't even have the dev kits to produce something by October, November.
Well, I'm assuming it's going to be an easy port.
Oh, from Switch 1 to... Okay. Yeah, I guess, if they already have...
Not even that, just if you're porting some shit from like the Xbox or the PlayStation.
Oh, I see what you mean.
Yeah. Because it's supposed to be comparable to a PS4, allegedly. Yeah. We'll see. So...
That makes sense. That makes sense.
Yeah. What's that? Let me see. June,
July, August,
October. 4 or 5 months.
Yeah. Okay. That makes more sense once you talked it out. Okay. And finally, it was said that the third phase for the games will be in the holiday period. In addition to the talk of the 3-phase launch plan, Insider Gaming has also learned that select media and creators will be attending Nintendo Switch 2 hands-on next week. Well, we knew about that, where they'll get hands-on with the console and some of its launch games for a few hours. So this is interesting. I
I'm
now that I
guessing that's
think
to
about
stop
it,
leaks. Yeah.
yeah, right, yeah. When I think about it, I guess possibly like the other console, like the PlayStation and Xbox. Actually, no, because they just launched everything at once. There was third party
Hmm.
support, first party support, just all at once. There was no real
I
like
mean, yeah, because they sent their dev
discrete
kits ahead of
things.
time, but
Yeah,
Nintendo's being super secretive. And I mean, it's more than likely not going to be. I don't know. I can't speak on it. But I mean,
what do you mean?
as far as like porting things to the 2 within 4 to 5 months, I'm wondering what that process is going to look like. Because I mean, button mapping is already going to be there.
Yeah,
Is it just inserting Switch 2 specific graphics and maybe turning on the higher resolution if it's, quick testing? I don't know. We'll see.
yeah.
We'll see.
Oh, you mean like the QA process for getting games
Yeah.
over to the Switch? Yeah,
Yeah,
I
for
mean,
them to be sending out shit in June and expecting it to be there
yeah.
October, November, December.
I feel like this is a very interesting like approach to this, just for the fact that okay, if this phase thing is true, you would imagine they'd probably have to do some sort of direct. But then that means that I guess with them having a Switch 1 direct last week and then having a Switch 2 direct next week, they most certainly can put two directs right next to each other. But
Yeah,
it this feels kind of weird, like, okay, well, they're gonna do a direct for October, November, and then do one for December. It's like, well, why don't you just do one direct?
because they
So
can do
it's
what they
like
want, DJ. You're not the boss of
ex-
them.
I know exactly. Hey man, hey. I'm not telling Nintendo how to act. I'm just this is going to be interesting if this is like the actual approach that they take. But I think overall this makes sense if they are being super secretive with their dev kits and trying to make sure there's no
Hmm.
leaks. I mean, what today we're recording? It is Sunday because we record every Sunday because like, whatever. They so far we have no leaks in terms of what is happening with the Switch 2 Direct. Like there's
Amazing.
no game release leaks or anything. So like
Probably under
that's
threat of
super
death.
impressive. Uh, hey man, Mario will come to your house. So yeah, like I think this is very interesting. To go along with this, there's a couple of rumors in terms of what the Switch 2 capabilities are. One of them comes from Mike Straw. The Switch 2 will let you connect directly to a Switch 1, it is claimed. This is also from Insider Gaming. Uh so this why does this keep on happening?
Mm,
The website, there's like new ads or whatever on this website, and it is completely just killing my computer.
weak sauce.
Okay. I know. Okay, so the actually, you know what I can do something. Let me just read this first paragraph and then do my little hack. All right, so the Nintendo Direct event to reveal all the features of the Switch 2 takes place on April 2nd. But that doesn't mean rumors aren't going to stop spreading before then. And a new claim by a known leaker, the Nintendo Switch 2 will have a unique feature that connects to the current gen Nintendo Switch. I don't know why. Give me a second. I think it's like text form or something. Uh, can you read that second paragraph for me while I figure this out?
According to whatever the hell this is, the Nintendo Switch's 2's mysterious C button will have multiple functions. One specific function, however, is that it will let you connect the new system to an original Nintendo Switch. This will reportedly allow players to use the Switch 1 as a controller or screen for Switch 2 games. I'm thinking this is the second coming of the Nintendo Switch 2DS
Mm-hmm.
plus new something something. But once
Yes.
again, we'll see. This is all speculation.
Yeah. So this is basically based off of the C button that was leaked with the mock-up of the design, well, however
Yeah.
many months ago. This feels very weird in terms of why would you add another screen to your Switch 2? Like, if this holds true, I think this would be a really interesting way of gaming, and I think that's within Nintendo's wheelhouse of, hey man, we have this new interesting feature that we're going to support for like 6 months, and then
Yeah.
the normal games will come out and be the normal games that we play, and we forget that this feature ever existed. Hello, what ice cubes in your Joy-Con or whatever they did with that first
Yeah.
couple. Yeah.
1-2
So
switch, I think was the game. Yeah.
yeah. So it's just like, all right, cool. We'll see what happens there. But with that said, I wanted for us to kind of run some predictions in terms of what do we think might show up at the Nintendo Switch 2 Direct.
Hmm.
I will go first just to because I've been kind of thinking about this and so on and so forth. So I think one of the things that we might see at this Direct,
Yeah.
and this is a long shot, but a few months ago, we talked about Sakurai, the one of the main developers of
Smash.
Super Smash Brothers. Yeah. Talking about how he basically stopping his YouTube channel because he is working on a project. For the Switch 1 Direct, he had made a tweet that gained a lot of attention because he was like kind of doing like some emoji or some eye emoji or whatever. And people were like, oh, is that meaning something, whatever? And he had to come out and say, like, I apologize, guys. I forget that essentially when I'm excited for something that could be taken out of context and so on and so forth. But
Mm-hmm.
and then like looking at the actual Switch 1 Direct, which we will in a second, there wasn't really anything that was like, oh, we could point to that being like a Sakurai thing. I think that we might actually get something for the Switch 2. I don't think it's going to be Smash Brothers. I think it's going to be a new thing entirely.
Yeah, he kind of got stuck making that.
Yeah. And I think you can only do so much with Smash Brothers, and it's just like I feel like you give that more time before you introduce a new thing. I mean, they might do like a collection edition, like collector's edition kind of thing, but I think he's gonna have a new project. How about you?
Eternal Darkness 2.
Eternal Darkness. Wait,
It's an
isn't that
old game.
that horror game? Yeah.
It's an old ass GameCube game.
Okay.
I don't know.
Yeah.
It's shot in the dark. Shot in the dark.
No, I think I know what that is, and it's like it was like super trippy, right?
Yeah, it was a game developed to mess with people.
Okay. I do know that. Yeah. Okay. A sequel to that. Okay. Um. So I I think I feel like with this Direct 2 or this
Yeah.
Nintendo Switch 2 Direct, they are going to put all their cards on the table. My only worry is that if the rumor about the whole three phase game release plan is true, then I don't know if we would have actual third-party trailers at this thing. This might just be purely like Nintendo.
That was a first party game though, or second party game.
No. I'm talking about my prediction.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Because yeah, you can be like, oh, Call of Duty's going to show up at Nintendo Switch, and it's like, I guess they could put a trailer out, knowing that they're going to put the game out.
Yeah,
Yeah, they could totally just do that. So
yeah.
yeah, we're good. What?
No. I'm agreeing because I mean,
Oh, okay.
old. The hell is his name? Xbox. It's a damn shame I
Uh,
forgot his name right now.
d-
Phil
uh,
Spencer.
Phil Spencer.
Yeah. He said Call
Oh
of
yeah,
Duty's coming to every system. So I mean,
You know
maybe.
what?
Hmm?
You know what? You know what? No, I take it back. Indiana Jones and the Great Circle is coming to the Switch too.
Disrespect.
That's my prediction. Because
Mm.
I think we're supposed to get that game.
Hmm.
We're supposed to get that like later in April, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, I think it's gonna be there. So okay. And then what's your next one?
New Star Fox.
Ooh, okay, okay,
I didn't play the last one, but
yeah,
I really enjoyed the 64 version.
hmm
Never quite got into the Super Nintendo version, but they have a bunch of franchises that they could stand to, bring
yeah,
back. Yeah.
yeah, for sure, for sure. I think new Star Fox does make sense. It could be the thing that's like, oh, they can incorporate some Switch 2 features, like, oh, this is why you play Star
Hmm.
Fox now with the new upgraded whatever's.
Yeah.
That I mean, that's interesting. And then like, yeah, because we haven't there hasn't been a Star Fox, and I think the last Star Fox wasn't great, but that means that it can definitely improve. Okay,
Yeah.
my next prediction for the Switch 2. Man, I guess it's important to actually write this stuff down sometimes because I had something and now I kind of forgot. I I feel like okay, I think there's going to be I this is kind of a long shot, but I feel like
Hmm.
there might be some kind of 3D Donkey Kong like game that is
Hmm.
akin to like a 3D Mario, but I think we will see the 3D Mario game that's going to come out later this year. It better come out later this year. Better. But yeah, I think there's going to be like a Donkey Kong thing because with the the Mario movie had a different Donkey Kong skin, and then that look I think appeared in another like Mario game or something.
Hmm.
So I think they're kind of like dropping hints that they're gonna do a new style Donkey Kong game, man. Yeah. In terms of the actual title, I don't know. I don't know. I played Donkey Kong a very long time ago. I never kept up with it. Yeah.
I know it's not gonna happen because we've already seen the trailer for it, but I would love if they brought back something with Mario Kart Double Dash functionality.
Like,
Double Dash was when there was two people on one cart, and you could switch between
oh, okay, okay,
driving.
okay, okay. Yeah.
You could switch between driving and manning the weapons.
I mean, I could. Is there any reason why that couldn't be in the new Mario Kart game? Is that like a very
That's
different?
more of a couch co-op with your friends playing type shit. That's not really a. I don't know how that would work online.
Oh, okay. Oh, true. Yeah, that makes
It
sense.
could, but
Yeah, it might be more.
like if your friend is trolling you right next to you, all right, you could punch him in the arm, like switch or throw the weapon or whatever. But people will be
Yeah,
griefing online, all that crap.
yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
it
yeah.
is what it
Or I
is.
guess could it be that it's just not a co-op thing where you can do the Mario double dash thing, but it's just you switching your characters.
I mean, at that point, there's no point to that.
There's no point. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
Okay.
really a game for co-op.
Yeah. It's just you.
Yeah.
It's just you playing with yourself essentially. Okay. Um. Do you have anything else? Another prediction?
Nintendo Land, maybe Nintendo Land 2.
Oh, yeah. So, okay. So
It
I
had
I
a couple
have
fun games.
yeah. Yeah, okay. So my prediction is so like a while ago we saw or we heard leaks of that weird like online game that Nintendo was testing out,
Yeah.
and no one could figure out like what it was for. Like people wasn't really talking about it because they feared the wrath of Nintendo and Mario coming to their house with
Hmm.
guns. But I think whatever that online game was I was going to ask if Nintendo Land was online. It was nothing was online for Nintendo. What was Nintendo Land exactly?
It had a bunch of different like mini games. That was
Okay,
basically it was basically a party game,
yeah,
party whatever. And there's one other thing, but I don't remember. Is it We Play or We Party?
Wii Party sounds because we had Wii. There was Wii Sports, and then like Wii Sports 2.
We Party, We Play. is one of those.
Okay. Yeah, so my prediction is that
It was WePlay.
that
Yeah, they
replay.
need to bring
Okay.
that back.
Okay. So my prediction is that that weird online like internal testing or
Hmm.
beta tested thing is going to show face at this Switch 2 Direct, and everyone will be like, "What is this?"
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. I think that's it. I mean, because like there is like the general like predictions like, oh, Metroid Prime 4, will it be a Switch 2 game? It most likely will be. You'll be able to play it on Switch 2 with, probably in like 60 FPS or whatever. Because like there
Yeah.
was a leak about Gears having the 60 FPS mode inside the game, but it's not accessible with the Switch 1. So yeah, like that stuff we know is gonna happen. We're just kind of staying away from it. So we're just kind of thinking outside the box. So yeah, I think we are good with these small predictions. That's fine. All right. Number 2. Nintendo Direct March 2025. All the games and everything announced. This comes from IGN by way of Eric Van Allen. Okay, so I just grabbed some of the highlights. The direct itself was probably around like 40 minutes, and I'm not gonna go through. We're not gonna go through all the games. So I just
Yeah.
grabbed a couple of the big games that we can, talk about. I'll play the trailers and stuff. So yeah, I can just go ahead and so actually, before I start playing the trailers, I did want to mention everyone thought there was two weird things that happened in this direct, and there were two games, specifically Patapon 1+2 replay and Everybody Golf Hotshots. You might wonder, why is
Those,
that weird?
those are Sony games.
Those are Sony games. Yes. And it is weird because it's like, oh, so is PlayStation, like, was the Horizon Lego game a test bed for them possibly putting out their games on a different platform like Nintendo? And I what's weird about it is that both Patapon 1+2 and
Hmm.
Everybody's Golf, they're published by Bandai. They're not published by PlayStation or Sony Interactive Entertainment.
Okay, yeah,
So,
they probably got a license for it or something, but
yeah. So that's where I think this is weird to us because we're on the outside and we don't actually know what the back room dealings are or whatever. But like if it's being published by Bandai, more than likely Bandai is going to make a majority of the money from this, and PlayStation will make a minority of the money for this. So it's just like, why would they go through the hassle of doing all this when they could just
release
say
it
it with their
themselves.
chest like they did with Horizon and just get all the money from this? So I think this is just something where it's like Bandai was like, hey, we want to publish this or whatever. There was some kind of communication with Sony. Sony's like, yeah, sure, fine, go ahead. We don't, it's okay.
Yeah.
And then they're like, PlayStation's also supposed to be making another Patapon. So it's just like, this is just weird. Maybe that Patapon 3 will be coming to PlayStation and Nintendo. That's a prediction for you if you're catching that. So yeah, I wanted to talk about that before we get into the other games because I thought that was really a weird thing to see. But yeah, the first thing I want to talk about, because I think this looks really cool. Oh wait, that's not. No, there we go. Because I think this looks really cool. Is Metroid Prime 4 Beyond? Um, how do you have experience with Metroid?
So I played the first one, but
Mhm.
I didn't quite understand what the hell I was supposed to be doing.
Yeah. Okay.
So I think I got stuck because that was actually my first. That may have been my first Metroid game
Yeah.
because I never really played the earlier ones until later, and even
Okay.
then I got stuck because I wasn't that great at like Metroidvanias at the time,
Yeah.
so I didn't fully
Yeah.
comprehend it. Yeah, so it looks interesting, and I know the Metroid Prime series has high praise, so It makes me want to go back and try to play it. I think they're on the Switch, right?
Yeah, they are. I believe you can get Metroid Prime on the Switch in some form or fashion.
Mm.
But yeah, I'll go ahead and say that you have played more Metroid than I have. I
Yeah,
tried Metroid Prime and I was like, I don't like this. I don't like the controls. Like this felt kind of slow to me, and it was a thing of just like I don't have time to sit here and figure this out, so I'm done with this.
that sounds like you.
It does, right? So it is a thing of if I get this, this would be my like first Metroid Prime game that I would be spending like time in. But
Yeah,
I think, throughout the years there, as you said, there's been a ton of praise for this, a ton of praise for Metroid Prime being like such a great Metroidvania. And it's just like, I'm down for that. Like I am of, and then like the new powers with this game is Samus can move things with her mind apparently, which is they'll explain that I hope. But yeah, it is a thing of like, yeah, I'll give this a shot. Like especially if this is like good and this is
yeah,
like of the same quality as Metroid Prime, which I feel like it will be because it's been like 6 years or so of development time that they put into this. So it's like I'm pretty sure this will be of quality. Plus, this is Nintendo. Yeah, so I'm pretty excited for this. I think this looks good, especially this is running on a Switch.
yeah.
Like that's incredible. So I would imagine that the Switch 2 will probably have this probably still be like 1080p, but it would probably be at like 60 frames or like 40 frames or whatever, like higher thing. But yeah, I think that looks pretty cool. Um, the next thing that I want to talk about is Witchbrook. So I'll keep this short because you didn't play Stardew Valley, right?
No,
No,
not at all.
okay. So the main reason why I think this game is interesting and will probably be like pretty crazy is this was made by the same. Oh no, it's made by the same developers that made Stardew Valley.
Hmm.
And Stardew Valley is a amazing game. It's an amazing co-op game. Like me and my wife sat and played hours and hours of Stardew Valley. And the story was actually really in depth for a like isometric pixel game. Like this art is pretty much the same style as Stardew Valley. If you don't know what Stardew Valley looks like, but yeah, but this looks way bigger, like way more intensive in terms of the things you can do, the things you are going to do, and this is like right up the alley for anyone who's played Stardew Valley. Uh, the next game, the Internal Life of Goldman. So this was interesting. Like I didn't see the beginning of this. I just kind of saw like in the middle. I was like, is that an old man? Like, how is he moving so fast? So this is one of those things where it's like I hope this does well. Because I think this showed incredibly well. But of course, no one's playing the game to know exactly how good the gameplay is. But this just looks really, really cool. It looks really interesting. And then they showed at the very beginning of the trailer, but like the thing that this man can upgrade is his cane. And it's like, oh, that makes sense. So yeah, I think this also looks amazing.
Yeah, I'm interested in touching playing that. It's gonna come on the PlayStation as well.
Oh, really? Oh,
Yeah,
okay. Oh, cool. That works.
it
That's
reminds me of DuckTales on the
yeah.
Nintendo, the original
Yes,
Nintendo.
yes. I actually think is there a connection between the two? No, no.
No, not at all.
Yeah.
Give me one
No,
second.
in
Keep
terms
going.
of
I'll be
like
right back.
developers or whatever.
Ah,
Yeah.
I'll be right back.
Oh, okay. The next game is Pokemon Z2A. Now, this is interesting because oftentimes, Game Freak they drop stuff on us and it's just like, what what does this even mean? Like when we saw Pokemon Legends Arceus, it was like, okay, what are we doing with this? And then as they release more content for the game, it's like, oh, this makes sense. And I think they did the exact same thing for Pokemon Z to A, where the the Z to A part specifically was like, what does that mean? What are we doing with this? People were speculating that, oh, it's like ZA or blah blah blah. But now we actually get a firm sense of what you're doing in this game and what ZDA stands for. And ZDA stands for the ranking system, because they kind of made a battle royale, right? So in the daytime, you can walk around the city and you can go into these like safari zones. If you play old Pokemon, you know what safari zones are. So you can go in these safari zones and just catch these Pokemon. But then during the nighttime, the city changes, and we have like these Pokemon trainers that come out at nighttime and they're wandering around the city, and you can interact with them, you can battle them, you can even surprise attack the trainers and basically jump them, I guess. I don't know. But yeah, they're showing the switch up of the city now when it gets nighttime. So yeah, like this is really, really an interesting like concept for Pokemon. And it's like, oh, I did not think about this. And it's like, okay, you start your ranking is Z and you work yourself up to the ranking of A. So it's Z to A. And it's like, okay. Why is this a Pokemon Legends game? I guess they just had an idea and they were like, all right, we'll just throw it with the Legends title, because I feel like this could probably just be the mainline Pokemon game, but I guess not. But yeah, I think this is really, really cool. So is Sean. Sean also thinks this is really cool. You just can't tell because he's not there right now. All right. Oh, there he is. Hey.
Yep.
You just made it. What's your take on Pokemon Z to A?
Finally, we're actually seeing the Pokemon running around and actually doing the stuff in a 3D space.
Mm-hmm.
It's only taken almost 30 years.
They were working with the code and stuff. It took a little longer than they expected.
It's serviceable. It makes me kind of interested. Is this supposed to be a mainline entry though?
So
I mean,
that's
it's
exactly what I was saying.
Pokemon Legends.
This is Pokemon Legends, and it was like, I feel like this setup could be a mainline Pokemon, but I guess thinking about it, the difference between this and a mainline Pokemon is that mainline Pokemon, you're going to different cities and you have the like areas in between where this,
True.
yeah, this is going to be just in the city. So this is probably a test bed for
The next thing.
The next thing, yeah.
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 Yeah, you know what? You're right. Because it would be two different versions if it was a mainline one. So
Right.
it does look interesting with the new mechanic, but I don't know if that's enough to pull me in.
Yeah. I think what I like the most out of this is the change in the fighting, because that has been my main, like, as a old avid watcher of the Pokemon series and playing the games. It's just like, I wish the games would play like the anime, because the anime makes it way more interesting. And it's like, I don't want to stand there and get hit with a hyper beam. I think I can dodge this with my Pikachu, and like now
You bastard.
you can you can try, you can at least attempt it. And like in the trailer, they actually showed, I'm not gonna go back to it, but they showed like one of the Pokemon using Dig to, I think, bypass like a Hydro Pump or whatever. And it's like, yeah, you can do that now if you know your moves and you have that awareness. It's like perfect. That's exactly what I want. So I hope this does well. But yeah, next game. So this was really interesting. So this is Marvel Cosmic Invasion. I don't know why I said that. Invasion. So this is .emu. They made Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Shredder Revenge. That's what it was. So this is a side scroller brawler, and it is Marvel, beat 'em up. That's, I don't know, I said brawler it is. So this is
same thing.
Yeah, right. So this is like the Marvel character. So it's not just X-Men. It's not just like it's everybody. It's all of Marvel's.
Yeah, this reminds me of Captain America on the Sega Genesis.
Yeah, and like it's funny playing Marvel Snap. I'm like, oh, I know who these characters are just from that game. In terms of comics, I have no idea like who Nova is. Well, he's
Yeah.
from Guardians of the Galaxy. But then what's her face? I can't. Her name starts with the M. Matrix. Marty. The girl with the giant sword that's not magic. Yeah,
Couldn't
I
tell
know
you.
her from the card. Her card sucks in Marvel Snap, but I know the character, so I'm like, oh, that's cool. But yeah, I think this looks dope. And then the main villain looks like a nihilist, which I know from Marvel Snap as well. Pretty cool card. So yeah, and it's coming out this year sometime, so that's dope. The last trailer.
Are you interested in those games, beat 'em ups,
Um,
or is it not enough
I
there
will,
for you?
I will see because it's a thing of generally I can play them for about like a sitting, but unless it's like really captivating, like I don't generally go back to them. So it's like
True.
it's fun at the time, but it's like, oh, there's nothing really pulling me to go back to the game. So we'll see how it goes. I think the Marvel inclusion could be an interesting twist. I wonder if they are going to do the thing of adding more characters and how long those additional characters will take to be put into the game. And like, is it just running the same levels over and over again? I don't know. We'll see. I'm still kind of undecided on that one.
Yep.
Okay. The last trailer is Tomodachi Life Living the Dream. Have you ever played a Tomodachi game?
Nope. Don't
Me
fully
neither.
understand what the hell it's supposed to be. I thought it was a typo originally when I very first heard of the game, like years back. But
Oh man,
looks interesting.
It was in this Switch where I learned that Tamagotchi, Tamagotchi and Tomodachi were two different things. I had no idea, absolutely no idea, and I was just like, what? Because like they had the Tomodachi or Tamagotchi Plaza game, and I was like, okay, and then they had this, and I was just like, wait, isn't this the same thing? Like, what's happening? No, it's not. Tomodachi Life is sort of like a crazy version of like Animal Cross. And I also didn't play Tomodachi, so I'm just going off of things that I've read and saw. But yeah, like this trailer is kind of insane. On top of that, this is just a side thing. The trailer announcement for this game got more likes on Nintendo's Twitter account, X account or whatever, than the Nintendo Switch 2 announcement.
Amen. That's
like
amazing.
that is insane. Like the Tomodachi announcement got like 400,000 likes, whereas the Switch 2 got about 385,000 likes. So people are excited for this game, and I'm like, all right, well, if you guys are excited, I guess I'll pay more attention to this because this could be because like I feel like this was the same wave that happened to Animal Crossing, where I was just like, I'll give Animal Crossing a try, sure, and I ended up really enjoying it. I'm like, well, if this is gonna be like a crazier version of Animal Crossing, then I'm down. I'll try it.
Let me see.
Yeah.
Tomodachi.
So yeah, so the last thing that was in the Switch, I'm not gonna do a video for that because it is Nintendo Today. Nintendo Today is a.
Did you download it?
I did actually. I did. So Nintendo Switch, or I'm sorry, Nintendo Switch. Nintendo Today is an app that came out, and it was delivered to us by Shigeru Miyamoto. And I was like, okay, this is interesting. Like, what does he have to show? And it was basically just like, it's just Nintendo like, hey, we are making our own dedicated news app because we don't know what's going to happen to Twitter and we don't want to take the risk. And we are done putting our news on other platforms. So we want
I
you
mean, I
to
can
come
see
to
that
our
because,
platform.
like,
Oh,
all right,
absolutely.
what's
Yeah,
the
absolutely.
hottest new thing apart from like YouTube will be a mainstay, I believe, but like
Hmm.
maybe Nintendo doesn't want to make a Blue Sky account or a
No, no.
Mastodon
Yeah,
account or whatever the hell. Like
yeah.
Twitter seemed like a anchor in our life, and then the anchor got pulled up, so
Yep.
it makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely. It's one of the things where it's like I think a lot of people are reacting in a negative way because it's like, oh no, like Nintendo is like I say a lot of people, I'm talking about content creators.
Yeah,
And it's like, oh no, Nintendo's kind of pulling from my pie because Nintendo already don't like people streaming their stuff on YouTube. So now it's like Nintendo's going to be dropping their news whenever they see fit on their app. So it's going to be more of a stress thing for the content creators to like always check the app to make sure they're up to date. They might catch
I
something
mean,
important.
it doesn't require any permissions other than notifications. So I mean, just
Yeah,
you'll hear
yeah,
the
I
ping.
know, but
Mhm.
it's just a thing of like Nintendo is controlling their own message now, and it's like more power to Nintendo for doing that. If that's what they want to do, then they're gonna do that, and like they have the power and the security enough to do something like this,
Yeah,
and it's like, all right, cool, we'll see, and
Nintendo
then
today is now your uncle that works at Nintendo.
right. And then like the first thing they dropped was news about the Legend of Zelda movie that's being made by
Yeah,
Sony. I was like, all right, cool. That's just going to be another thing that we look at when we're pulling our news. So
yeah.
not a problem there. All right, well that was the Nintendo Switch 2 rumors, predictions, and the Switch 1 direct. So come Wednesday, we'll be doing a live stream of the Switch 2
Yeah,
stuff.
because DJ is sick.
Yes.
More on that on Wednesday.
All right. Before we jump into the other news that happened this week, hey, like this video, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell. Thank you. If you're listening, please leave a review. Please leave us a review on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, whatever podcast service you're currently tuned in on. We appreciate that. Thank you again. All right. Number 3. Shuhei Yoshida says Japan studio was closed because PlayStation didn't want AA games. So this comes to us
That is
from
unfortunate.
this comes to us from Andrew Heighton from Insider Gaming. Okay, let me. So in a translated interview with AV Watch, Yoshida explained, "I was in charge of the first party, so I was asked to make a game that was powerful enough to sell hardware. When you make something like that, the company pushes you a lot. The company once wanted such things, and while the company wanted such things, and while we had to make them, the scale development and the sales required were getting bigger and bigger." He added that the company creators were coming up with great ideas, and while they were quote unquote very creative and interesting, they were ultimately deemed AA. He said that Japan Studios ceased to exist soon after he stepped down as president, an event brought on by PlayStation corporate restructuring. At that time, the Japan studio was a team that was good at making AA, and it was a studio. In that case, it probably doesn't match what the company's first party was looking for, explained Yoshida. Yeah. Eh, yeah. So Japan Studio was part of the most lauded, no,
Yeah,
was part of the most lauded titles in PlayStation's catalog. Everybody's Golf, Ape Escape, Loco Roco, Knack, Patapon, Gravity Rush, and many more. While other studios might pick up these franchises, like Bandai Namco has done with the new Everybody Golf Hotshots title.
I
Some of
think I
these
played
games,
every game that you just mentioned.
really,
Yeah.
I didn't. I played the demo of Knack. I played a demo of like all these games.
Mm.
Oh, yeah. Some of these games are now co-signed to history. So Yeah, this is a thing that we, specifically PlayStation gamers, have lived through, and we've essentially come out on the other end screaming at Sony, screaming at PlayStation, like, "Hey, make those AA games. They will work. They are good to make. Like, you don't have to bankrupt yourself on every game to try to make back your money. Just
Yes, they do.
make." Say what?
Yes, they do.
No. Oh yeah, you're right. You know what? I apologize. Continue making AAA games. You know what? Make quadruple A games like Ubisoft. Go ahead and do it.
Mm.
So yeah, it's a thing of like, yeah, we felt this. We saw this happen in real time and it sucked. Um, I think I think really and truly Astrobot was a wake-up call where they probably pinned Astrobot as a double A game, like something they can just get out and make money back. But it blew up in such a way where it probably made them rethink most of their strategy. I think on top of the live service stuff, pretty much not working, kind of crumbling, they're like,
Mhm.
all right, well, this could be the thing that we can do because we've seen Astro be a success. So yeah. Yeah, anything on this?
Nah.
No. Okay.
Yeah.
Number 4. First look at Respawn and Bit Reactor Star Wars turn-based tactics game. This comes to us from MP First. So this is interesting. I'm not gonna because this is like a leak. I'm not gonna actually show the screenshots. You can just go to MP
Mhm.
First and look at it all you want. But this is just showing screenshots of the Star Wars turn-based game that's supposed to be dropping sometime in April alongside the Star Wars Celebration. Uh, this looks interesting. So the developers are veterans from XCOM. So if you know what XCOM is, then you
Yeah.
know that this is going to be probably a really, really cool like turn-based game for the Star Wars franchise. I think
Mm.
I'm not sure if Star Wars has had a turn-based game before. I feel like Jordan can answer that, not me. Um, but I think the
Did you
screenshots
ever
look
play
super.
XCOM?
No, I didn't play XCOM, but I wanted to play. Like XCOM was the one game, not the one game, was one of the games that I really wanted to play,
Mhm.
but it was always like I have to make time for this game because the game is such a tactical thing, and it's like I never found that time, and eventually just went by the wayside.
Fair. Fair.
Because like to me, like XCOM felt like a more advanced wars, and like I loved advanced wars. Like I
Same.
would sit there and play advanced wars for hours and just run the same maps and like try to like minimize my losses or whatever. So like I feel like I like Star Wars. So I like Star Wars enough to be like, oh, this is cool. Like I've played the Jedi Survivor games and I made it through and beat those games. So I could definitely try something like this out. Sure. So yeah,
Switching.
okay, yeah. So yeah, this looks interesting. I wonder how this is going to launch, like what consoles this will launch for. Will this be on PlayStation Plus? Will this be on Game Pass? Those details we don't know yet because we haven't gotten the official launch, but it's out there and it's going to be. Oh wait, actually no, it's going to be launching for PC, PS5, Xbox Series S, and possibly Switch too. So we'll see. We'll see. Number. Hmm. You know what? No, we're gonna skip that. All right, we're gonna do a quick hits. Number 5. Sony has been backing up its PS5 game build as part of a preservation effort. This comes to us from Engadget. So essentially, what's happening there is it's not necessarily backing up games, it's backing up how they made the games. So this was all in part of the PlayStation's 30th anniversary. So many words, so little time. And they hired they hired Garrett Fredley to run this whole like preservation team. And at GDC, he kind of came out and gave his no, in a newsletter, it was explained by Stephen Totillo the talk that Freddie gave about his findings and all this stuff. So that's
Yeah.
cool. They're saving all this stuff, which is good. They also need to back up the games. That would be great. Number 6, Hogwarts. Oh, that is spit. Oh my gosh, terrible. Hogwarts Legacy expansion
Yeah.
canceled despite 30 million copies sold. This comes to us from Forbes by way of Paul Tassi, of course. This
I didn't
is
play the game, so
so I played the game. I didn't beat the game, but I enjoyed it. Like I let my wife Shireen play it, and she really liked it. She never beat it, but it's hard for her to like sit there and like focus on a game. Unless it's Sims, because she loves Sims. But I kind of understand this in the sense that WB, who is the publisher of the Harry Potter
Hogwarts.
game,
Yeah.
is going through. I should say Hogwarts Legacy, not Harry Potter. Is going through like massive reductions, and they probably looked at this and be like, okay, you know what? We're gonna cut our losses here. We'll just make a sequel later on, or we'll just use this to build on for a sequel to make
The
even more money
assets and
because
all
we can
that.
charge
Yeah.
for it. Yeah. So it's like, okay, that's probably what they're doing here. It's not said in the article, but that would be my guess because there's no way they're going to be like, oh yeah, we're done with Hogwarts Legacy. No,
Nah, I can see them being done with it.
well, if they say they're done with it, that means they're done with games because it's like that's literally their biggest IP now because they've run Batman into the ground, and
Still some
yeah,
more
that's
running
it.
to do.
Right? He's in the ground, but not 6 feet under. We can do better.
Amen.
So yeah, that's that. Number 7, PS5 exclusive Ghost of Yotei still on track for 2025 release.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean that title that comes to us from Push Square. That title pretty much says that there was a post released by Andrew Garfield. No, Garfep from IGN, ex IGN. He basically said, "Hey, come help us get Ghost of Yotei out this year by joining the team." So it's kind of those like job post kind of things. So yeah, it's fine. And then last up, number 7, actually no, number 8. Game Informer rescued by blockchain firm with entire team reunited. This comes to us from VGC by way of Andy Robinson. So yeah, if you haven't saw the YouTube post or you weren't following, Game Informer is in fact back. It is it was rescued by a blockchain firm. That is the unfortunate truth of the matter. But the Game Informer entity is an independent entity where they have their own Game Informer Inc. So it seems that probably the blockchain firm probably grew up on Game Informer. Like, you know what, this is something that I can do to like save them and have them do their own thing. I hope, 1-2 years down the line, we don't see that blockchain stuff leak into Game Informer in some weird way. They were owned by GameStop, and GameStop also does a blockchain thing, and they weren't necessarily doing that with Game Informer stuff. So we can only hope for the best for them. But it is good to see that they're back and they're not, the way of the other gaming magazines. Did you grow up
Okay.
on? Did you do Game Informer?
I mean, of course.
Yeah.
Game Informer, EGM, Game Pro, Nintendo Power,
And then
Sony official,
Sony
official
had,
PlayStation, all that. So
yeah.
I mean, of course, you got this free with your damn GameStop Pro
Yeah.
membership. I can never get the E magazine to work, but it was some good reading material.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I appreciate that, they are still doing the I believe this is still like a print thing that they're doing for
Yeah,
this.
they intend to bring it back.
Okay, cool. Yeah. I think that's awesome. That is something that kind of sucked when they went
Mhm.
belly up because I think they were the last like of the old school magazines that essentially died. So yeah, that's awesome. All right. Let us end this with what we have been playing. And Sean, you have been playing something. What have you been playing?
Immortals of Avium.
Mm,
It popped on PlayStation Plus at some point.
okay.
I don't remember when, last year or something like that.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, it was sometime last year.
it is not bad.
Okay. Okay.
I think it was just too different at the time it came out. And playing through it, I feel like it insists upon itself a little too much.
Oh. Oh, really?
And it's not terrible, but it's just like, I mean, yes, you want a game to take its world and its lore seriously, but it's just like, all right, man.
So was it because it got a 72 on Open Critic, which is fair per their wording.
People treat 72 or a 70 or a C game like it's absolute garbage when that's an average game.
Yeah,
And
right.
I mean, if you like games of the genre and you're curious to try something new, check it out. I mean,
Yeah.
it's Call of Duty but with magic is their tagline. But
Okay.
you're collecting essence and gold to, upgrade your gear. You can have different uh rings and armor, and they call them sigils in the game, but basically it's like you have three different colors. Typically the soldiers, the immortals, can only do like one color of magic, which is like close range, mid range, or long range. You can do all three because of course you're the chosen one. All that good stuff. It's not bad. I'm in. I started playing Dragon Age Veilguard and kept on pausing it. So like, I literally just kept. I would get through like 5 minutes of it and kept on pausing it. So I downloaded Immortals and I haven't stopped playing it. So I mean, like, if that says anything, like, I want to see more, or I want to see more of the abilities. I want to upgrade shit. So not bad. Not bad.
I mean, I think that is very telling where you tried Dragon Age and it was like it's for whatever reason, it's not grabbing you enough to stop you from pausing the game.
And they're pretty much like the same aesthetic.
Yeah. It's pretty similar. Magic and particle effects.
couldn't tell you, but I don't know. Immortals is grabbed me a little bit more until at least next month when Clair Obscure comes out and Indiana Jones or whatever. So I mean, like, I'm gonna try to finish this before then.
Okay, I mean that's cool. Like that's a game that, like, when I first saw it, I thought looked really interesting, and I think the whole stuff around the review just kind of like put me off. And like, I don't need to.
I mean, most people's complaints is that it offers nothing like new, whatever that means.
Oh, I'm fine with that. I've been playing Gundam since 2018.
So I mean, like, that's people's main complaint is it does. Apart from the main hook being Call of Duty with magic, I don't know what else they wanted. It's a tried and true story beat thing so far. You're the chosen one. Blah blah happens.
My question:
Yeah,
Call of Duty with magic. Does it feel like Call of Duty in terms of how you're like running and like controlling? Like, is there like a slide and stuff you can do in this game, or is it just like
you have a short range dash just to kind of get out of danger. You cannot slide, and you cannot aim down sights.
Okay.
If that you're using your fucking finger.
Yeah, your finger.
But I mean, like, you can pull enemies towards you. You can slow them down. I don't know what all the gun effects are because there's a bunch of different stuff in there. So check it out.
Like level up, like skill trees kind of stuff.
Yes, there is for each color of magic. And I'm sure you haven't started Days Gone yet, so go download Immortals of Avium, you bastard.
Wait, how'd you know?
Oh, and it says that the story isn't that long. It says main story. I just looked up on how long to beat. The main story is 14 hours. I probably have more than that because I'm just dilly dallying around, like
Yeah.
grabbing like I'm compelled to grab every piece of gold that I see.
Yeah.
I don't know, like it has cool little
Okay.
puzzles and gates and all. Try it,
Yeah.
try it. I know you ain't
Yeah.
tried Days Gone. Try this.
You know what? I will. I will download this tonight and try it
Just to
because
check it out, just to see,
I think this will work a little better than Days Gone just because of how long this game is compared to Days Gone. Like I know I can sit
Well,
down
okay,
and beat
because this
a
is 14 hours. Let me see.
oh
Days Gone is 36. Okay, yeah,
oh Jesus,
yeah,
yes.
yeah. Fair, fair,
Yeah.
fair, fair.
All right. That is that. I have a new assignment before the next episode. Actually, the next episode will be us live reacting to the Nintendo Switch 2 Direct coming this Wednesday.
Last
So
Wednesday.
check that out. Last one. Yeah, yeah.
Wednesday
Yeah,
just
yeah,
passed.
you're right. Yes, yes, yes. Love how time works that way. All right. Yeah. Well, that has been it. That has been another episode of Press X Start Gamers Digest. We hope you enjoyed this episode as much as we enjoy making it. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and then do a little jig. If you are listening, we greatly appreciate you leaving us a review on whatever podcast service you're tuned in on. Until next time, keep playing games, wash your hands, and hold your loved ones tight and your enemies closer, and whisper in their ears, "Are you getting a Switch too? Because I am." Do that. Do that.
Yeah.
All right. Bye.
Peace.